should matter to you. We believe that operating with integrity will set us apart from our competitors, and that this attracts people to us that share these same values. I say this because I want you to know when you work with Semper Fi, character counts. It's why you can count on the industry's hands-down best lifetime workmanship warranty that now includes free annual inspections. And it's why we always have one project manager per job, which is absolutely not the industry standard. When you're paying for a brand new roof to go on what's likely the biggest investment you have, you want it done right, and you want to be able to count on the people doing it. This is Brad Younglith with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company.
Keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semper Fi.
Get the beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend. Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production. Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks and conversations with the biggest names in basketball. It's Mental Health Awareness Month. This week, Marcus and his son Chris talk to the Bucks mental performance coach, Dr. Craig Manning. Find Here District now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcast.
You know this already. Inflation is sticky. You see it on the news. You feel it at the grocery store. It's the involuntary pay cut no one wants and that we can't seem to shake. Annex Wealth Management wants to help. Now is the time to download 7 strategies you can use in an environment with elevated inflation. Learn how real assets can help, which tax-efficient strategies to consider, and one way to increase Social Security benefits. It's a free download and available now. Go to annexwealth.com/inflation.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Steve Scafidi for Universal Windows Direct. Spring is here and is only going to get hotter from here on out. Call my guys at Universal Windows Direct. Super spacer technology. What does that mean? Keeps the edge of the glass warmer, holds the window seal longer. Plus, Universal Windows Direct backs it up with a true 20-year warranty. Call today, 414-410-2000, 414-410-2000, and for every 2 windows you buy, you get 2 free, plus 0% financing for 60 months. Go to uwd.com. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
Traffic is sponsored by Flanners Home Entertainment, Flanners.com. Just press play.
Upgrade your entertainment setup today. For the best in audio and video for your home, indoors and outdoors, Flanners Home Entertainment delivers sound advice at the best price. Flanners, just press play.
And a high fly ball left center field. This ball is going to be back there and gone!
The Brewers show Miami what real baseball looks like. Our Brewers Marlins coverage starts tonight at 5:05. This series is sponsored by Steinhaffel's Memorial Day Sale on your home of the Milwaukee Brewers. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 3:01. I'm John Mercure. Your top story. It's about to get windy in southeast Wisconsin.
I'm Julia Fellow. It's time to right size. I'm Debbie Lazago. We had an accident on westbound 94 right about at 25th Street. Looks like they were able to get that off of the freeway. Still, though, we got some backups from about 25th Street all the way through to Mitchell Boulevard. Southbound 43 backing up just a bit from Hampton down past Capitol Drive, with the northbound side slowing down right around the North Avenue curve up towards Keith. And then, of course, we've got our construction delays coming out of the Mitchell interchange on 894 westbound. Those delays stretch all the way to about 60th Street. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, severe weather is heading towards southeast Wisconsin. Storm Team 4 meteorologist Tyler Moore lays out the timeline for tonight's storms.
8 p.m. kind of for some of the western counties, 9 p.m. probably closer to Waukesha, 10 p.m. for the Milwaukee Metro is kind of the progression of the timing for that. And with that, it's only going to last about an hour or so, and most of the storms are out of here by midnight tonight.
The big thing to watch for, strong leading edge of damaging straight-line winds. Meteorologist Craig Copleen joins us live to time out the storm at 4:36.
A woman from Fond du Lac is in custody tonight, allegedly throwing bodily fluids at safety workers during a high-speed police chase. This happened last night. Police say the 45-year-old woman fled from multiple attempted traffic stops. At times, the chase reached up to 65 miles an hour through city streets. The woman has not yet been identified by Fond du Lac police.
Milwaukee Public Schools looking to right-size its district and take a long and hard look at its building use.
The district holding community meetings to get feedback on how MPS uses its buildings and for what programs. Senior Director for the Department of Facilities and Maintenance Services, Sean Kane, tells WTMJ.
Could be expansion, capping, consolidating, looking at what we can do with facilities, but right at this point, we do have to look at all options.
Kane says the district's plans won't all be implemented at once, but
we're looking to get these recommendations by October so that we're able to look at, potentially the next school year to make decisions.
Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, WTMJ News.
Wisconsin is now served by 2 Amtrak lines as the Borealis train begins service across our state.
Plenty of excitement at the Milwaukee Mitchell International Airport Amtrak station as the new Borealis line begins service.
It has been 22 years since passenger rail has been expanded in the state of Wisconsin. I'm uber excited.
Milwaukee County Executive David Crowley tells WTMJ what drives his uber excitement for the new line.
It allows for folks in our larger suburb like Chicago to be able to come on up, to be able to utilize our Mitchell International Airport. This is just a great way for folks to be even better connected to Milwaukee County.
In Milwaukee, Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Coming up, a red hot tour coming to Milwaukee.
And no more self-serve drinks for you. The huge chain making changes at 3:09.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time 3:04.
This message is for the person who always gets asked to make the plans, the person others always go to for restaurant recommendations. Next time, you're the one expected to plan the next team outing or girls' night out. Let Milwaukee or Chicago Food and City Tours make those plans for you. Don't worry, you can still take the credit, but we'll handle the planning and make sure that everyone, including you, has a delicious time. You set the date, we'll handle the rest at MilwaukeeFoodTours.com or ChicagoFoodTours.com.
$1, just $1 over cost, and you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, just $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. Our only requirements is we put them on for you. Available at all 5 Griffin stores. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
Need to hire quality candidates fast? You need Indeed. Our video interview tool makes it easy and effortless to meet with candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Each day there's a sliver of time when you can almost breathe freely. And you feel better when you can, but you know that eventually that sliver of time closes, along with your nose. It puts a damper on your day every day. So you pop a pill or you take a spray to try to get that relief back, but it's always short-lived. And all the while in your efforts to give yourself relief, you may be making your nasal breathing problems worse. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula, and a simple in-office procedure from Advent called balloon sinuplasty could be the fast and convenient answer to your breathing triangle problems. Advent has been a leader in this procedure, which can be hard to find elsewhere. It's simple, there's little to no downtime, and it really can be life-changing.
Go to AdventKnows.com to schedule your appointment because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Breathe well with simple solutions. Breathe well with simple solutions. AdventKnows.com.
Results may vary.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time 3:06.
A comedian who has the condition known as dwarfism is bringing his red-hot tour to Milwaukee later this month.
All I'm saying is the handicap parking spaces will be taken at the Pabst.
Brad Williams, a guest on Wisconsin's Morning News, stands less than 4.5 feet tall, but his comedy is giant.
When I started doing comedy, there were a lot of little people that were upset at me because they thought that I was just kind of exploiting myself. But then once people see the comedy, they go, oh, that's what he's doing.
Back-to-back shows at the Pabst on May 31st. Vince Vitrano, WTMJ News.
Time for the WTMJ Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Brewers look for a W tonight. Game coverage from Miami, 5:05 on WTMJ. And rookies and veterans are mixing for the first time in Green Bay as the Packers continue Block 1 of organized team activities.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time 3:07.
This report's sponsored by Mr. Holland's Heating and Air Conditioning. Visit MrHollandsHeatingandAir.com.
Are you backed up? Hey, it's okay. We all get a little backed up every now and then. And when that happens, you need a professional to get in there and blast out that blockage. Wait, you do know I'm talking about your pipes, right? At Mr. Holland's Home Services, we know from experience that a clogged drain is a big old pain. Left untreated, dirt, debris, and other sloppy sludge piles up in your pipes to form an annoying obstacle that prevents a steady flow of flushables. So if you're a little backed up, your drain that is, call Mr. Holland's Home Services. As long as we have an easy entry point, we can send a camera down your pipe to find the objectionable obstruction, and then we flush it out. Mr. Holland's plumbing prodigies have the training to get you draining. So don't get backed up. Take the strain off your drain and call 866-992-1717 or visit MrHollandsHomeservices.com. If you're feeling drained, we can help.
Wisconsin's Afternoon News is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, John McCure and Julia Fellow.
All right, hope your Tuesday's going fantastic. We've got a great show lined up for you. First, some of the things that we're tracking today.
This is the 3 at 3 on Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
Number 1, John, cover your plants. Park your car in the garage. TMJ4 meteorologist Tyler Moore explains why you need to be weather aware tonight.
There's definitely the potential for wind gusts to get upwards of 70 to 80 miles per hour. Now, to put that in perspective, we put severe thunderstorm warnings out when gusts get over 58 miles per hour. That's pretty significant. And whenever you talk about these line segments, you can get some spin-up tornadoes.
He says there's a chance of isolated tornadoes further inland. Again, the worst of it is expected from 8 to 11 tonight. Please remain weather aware. We have Craig Copeland with us for an update at 4:36.
Number 2, changes at McDonald's. The first one's not very exciting. So the first one, I'm kind of disappointed, actually. They're getting rid of self-serve fountain drinks. No more self-serve at McDonald's. You order a Happy Meal, you order a drink, you're going to have to get the drink from them at the counter. They're going to fill it and give it back to you. If that's not bad enough, some of them are also eliminating refills. So it'll be up to the individual McDonald's to decide if you can bring the cup back up to the counter and get more Diet Coke, or they can decide no more refills. I know, that's not that great. You know what is great? The new Grandma McFlurry. So I have not tried this. This is the Grandma McFlurry. It's supposed to be a taste of Grandma's house, kind of syrupy and crunchy with some candy in it. All right. You went out and bought a couple of these.
Yes, I did.
I'm gonna try this.
Pelican is trying it as well. I got one for him. Little Bird that's filling in for Sam. What do you think,
I
Bird?
like that.
I mean, this has won me over. I mean, I'm all in on this. I love this. I think it definitely does the name justice. It kind of brings back that feeling that I would get from a grandma's, dessert.
They
back
haven't
home.
disclosed what the candy is.
Yeah.
But it tastes kind of butterscotchy. You know what it tastes like? The Werther's candy, that hard candy that Grandma always had in her purse.
The caramel lozenge kind of thing? Yes, exactly.
Exactly.
It says XOXO Grandma with a little doily around the McDonald's logo.
I like that.
Very cute.
Thanks for getting this. This is a nice little pick-me-up in the afternoon,
Seriously.
Julia.
It just came out. Fantastic.
Today, literally today.
Hot off the press.
This is good. Thank you. You talk a little more. I'm going to eat some more.
All right,
McFlurry.
number 3, the Minnesota Timberwolves have a new rallying cry after their star player Anthony Edwards was interviewed by Charles Barkley right after their crucial Game 7 win. Take a listen to what Barkley said.
Okay, I have not been to Minnesota in probably 20 years.
Bring your ass.
Hey, bring your
Uh-oh. Okay, so the local...
You say bring your ass?
The local tourism council in Minnesota loved it. They took over the rights for Bring Ya ASS.
You're so nice. You don't want to say it.
I guess we got permission to say it, but
We did. You're good.
People are really chanting it and just taking over. BringYAASS.com. I did and it took me to a different site.
Oh, I bet it did.
I was like, what is this?
Not safe for viewing at work.
No.
I just want some more of this Grandma McFlurry.
It's really good.
This is really good. So the McFlurry is like their version of the Blizzard. I don't ever get McFlurries at McDonald's, but this one's really good. Their soft serve is good. It's pretty creamy. This
I
is
think
nice.
so too. Very nice.
Yeah, well done. I almost choked on a piece of butterscotch candy. That would not be good. We have cameras in here. If you want to see me choking live on TV, text the word WATCH, WATCH, and you can check it out.
855-616-1620. I'm holding it up right now.
It's a pretty little
Very
cup.
cute.
All right, up next. Super excited about this. Sarah Pancari is the president and CEO of Milwaukee World Festival. She is with us in the studio. Summerfest is a month away. It's the best thing we have going all summer long. Sarah's with us in the studio up next.
Get inside the mind of Mark Tauscher.
I was not the look good, feel good, play good guy, because if that was the case, I never would have played good.
See the world from his perspective on Wisconsin's Morning News. Every day at 7:50.
I wouldn't give two rips. If I had to wear concrete boots and I knew that would make me play better, I'd do it.
Mark Tauscher on Wisconsin's Morning News. Presented by Hello Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and Kohler Services.
John Mercure here for Connect Chiropractic. I was just at Connect this morning. Dr. Alex hooked me up big time. I went to the office in Delafield. It's right off the interstate. It's easy. I love Connect Chiropractic. They've got a couple locations, Delafield and Tosa. I go to both. So right now when you're doing your yard work, when you're playing outside with the kids, maybe you're jogging outside, you want to make sure you're feeling right. Your neck's in good shape. Your back's in good shape. I know that I feel better when I go to Connect Chiropractic. They have a long-term care focus on total wellness. No twisting, cracking, popping. It's more nuanced than that. Dr. Alex, Dr. Marley, Dr. Olivia, they're going to take great care of you. I feel better. It's Connect Chiropractic.
Hi, I'm Aaron Kowal of Kowal Investment Group, the retirement specialist. If you have at least $750,000 or more in investable assets, we can help you transition into the retirement you've worked so hard to achieve. Our 1-hour retirement planning consultation will help you walk away with the answers to your most critical retirement questions. If you're close to or already retired, give our office a call today at 262-522-4040 or visit thekowalway.com to schedule your complimentary, no-obligation retirement review.
Kowal Investment Group is a registered investment advisor.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we get you outdoors because we get you. So get your summer started off right with amazing Memorial Day savings throughout the store. Right now, get a free $15 Blaine's gift card when you spend $75 on Purina Pro Plan dog or cat food. Pro Plan recipes are formulated using advanced targeted nutrition to help your pets thrive as they age and develop. So find the right Pro Plan recipe for your dog or cat today. And if you need help, just ask a friendly, knowledgeable associate at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Traffic is sponsored by Hall Mazda Milwaukee. Visit hallmazdamilwaukee.com.
Be our eyes on the roads. Report accidents, slowdowns, and road conditions to the WTMJ Hall Mazda traffic tip line at 414-238-9329.
Traffic and weather. Let's get a look outside with Debbie Lazaga.
We're going to slow down a little bit more on 43 southbound from about Silver Spring all the way down past Capitol Drive. Northbound side is going to be tight around North Avenue all the way up towards Capitol as well. Westbound 94 a little heavy from 27th Street out past Hawley Road. And 41 southbound slowing down a bit from Silver Spring down past Hampton. A couple pockets of heavy traffic down past Capitol Drive as well. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, storms are going to roll in 7 or 8 o'clock. Some could be severe, so stay weather aware. Low of 58 tonight. Tomorrow, cloudy, breezy 73. Thursday, sunny 77. Friday, chance for showers, a high of 78. And on Saturday, slight chance for rain, a high of 72 degrees. Right now, it's pleasant, sunny, and 64 degrees. Sarah Pancari is the president and CEO of Milwaukee World Festival, the producers of Summerfest, and a lot of other great stuff along the lakefront. And Sarah is with us live in the studio. Sarah, thank you so much for being here.
It is a pleasure to be here, especially on McFlurry Day.
Oh, yes, yes. It's a month until Summerfest. I can't believe it's almost here. How are you guys doing? How are you feeling?
Great. We are doing great. I think, kicking off with Willie Nelson, the concert season on Saturday, we're just getting into it and cannot wait to host Summerfest. It's hard to believe it's only 30 days away, but our team is ready. We continue to hire. We are on a hiring. We're looking for people that can do security, operations, food and beverage. That continues to go, as well as just all the exciting ethnic festivals that are going to take place before we start on Summerfest. So,
I'm happy about Festa Italiana coming back.
Isn't it fantastic? That group, they're working so hard, and I'll talk to anyone about, we've got to support our ethnic and cultural festivals. So we have Festa, and then going to Pride, and then Polish all before Summerfest. So please come on down to the festival park. Yeah.
It's Sicily this year is the theme. It's at the Festa. That's going to be super, super cool. What's happening right now? You kind of hinted at it, but you are 1 month away, and I've been dealing with some of your team who's really, really busy. What's happening right now for the Summerfest folks 1 month out?
Okay, so this morning I was with Scott Zeal, who books our music, and he and I looked at each other. We're also working on 25, right? So 25 is very much on our minds, but he said, okay, we're in it, and if it's not planned by now, it's likely not to get done. So we're really moving into long-term planning as well as really execution mode. The production office is open. We're moving things forward, and really, it's the I'm holding a brochure in my hand, which will soon hit the streets. This is a big moment for us, getting all the bands booked, all the events organized, all the vendors organized. We're really it's all happening down there.
So the amphitheater alone, and I love all the side stages. I don't even like to call them side stages because they're massive stages. But in the amphitheater alone, it's like Kane Brown, it's Motley Crue, Keith Urban's going to be here, Maroon 5 is going to be here, and a variety of others. Carly Rae Jepsen and AJR are going to kind of do their thing back and forth. What are you super excited about when you look at the lineup?
Well, we never choose children, John. Like we never actually choose.
Who's your favorite child?
Yeah, I want to ask who your favorite is.
I mean, but the variety you spoke to. So add SZA, add Little Uzi Vert, and the list goes on. It really becomes a collection, and we are excited to see all of ours. But there's nothing like when Kane Brown will hit the stage and open up the amphitheater the first day. That's pretty special, always, every year. So I would say, without naming specifics, I love the first night.
BMO Harris Pavilion is one of my favorite places in the entire city.
Yeah.
This is just an incredible venue,
gorgeous.
and I've seen so many good shows there over the years. We all talk about the amphitheater. Talk about how special the BMO Harris Pavilion is and what makes it so special.
Yeah, you bet. I mean, first of all, you're on the corner of Lake and Lake, right? So between the lagoon and looking out, if you stand at the back of the BMO Harris Pavilion looking at the stage, looking at the water, you can actually see the water as you're looking at the performance, which is really special. And we hear that from the artists, right? They're like, wow, we get to play here. And this year, everyone from Brittany Howard and War on Treaty. I don't know if you've ever heard of War on Treaty.
Yeah.
It's Grammy nominated. It's a husband and wife, and they're so soulful. It's really, really cool. So we're excited about that. And then moving all the way into REO Speedwagon, into Muna, into Fletcher. Bryson Tiller is probably one of the artists that the team was really excited to secure. And then Ivan Cornejo, who sold out our reserve tickets within a heartbeat because he's just on the rise and so successful. So lots going on at the BMO Pavilion this year. Again, you like the variety. Is really
Goo
what
Goo Dolls are going to be there.
How can I forget the Goo Goo Dolls? I mean,
it's incredible.
Goodness, right. So, and then Hanson and Gavin DeGraw, which was a later announcement.
I love Gavin DeGraw.
I do too.
So people love. I love Gavin DeGraw. And so he definitely is a Milwaukee favorite, and we can't wait to have him.
So,
go ahead, Julia.
No. How do you suggest people get downtown with the traveling and what's going on with construction? What's the best mode of transportation to Summerfest?
You bet. So I would tell you that, when you're thinking about how you're going to get there, we all have this, like if you're from Milwaukee, you have a muscle memory.
Yep.
For us, it's really think about where you're going to park. Think about how you're going to get there and where you're going to walk. And parking downtown and walking south to the grounds is really an effective way to make sure that you're able to use your time the way you want to, but also be able to, negotiate the different parking structures. It's a great way to get to the festival.
Sarah Pancari is with us live in the studio. It's an incredible value. One of the things I love about Summerfest is what a value it is. And there was a recent survey out that actually named Summerfest the best value festival in the country. Better value than all the other big ones that we're familiar with. What they did was they analyzed ticket prices and then artist lineups and the number of people you can see if you go to a festival. And it wasn't even close that Summerfest is the best value. How important is it that value and accessibility and that sort of thing for people who live and work here be?
Well, for us, it's inherent to our mission. So as a nonprofit organization that plans this festival, remaining accessible. So if you did no planning at all, $28 is what you'll pay at the door. But really, we have 14 ways to get in free, and our sponsors are key for that. So almost every sponsorship has a consideration of how we can maintain accessibility and continue to provide this incredible lineup that's so diverse for a low cost. So for us, it's a North Star. Certainly, and really, really important to the Summerfest experience.
You've done such a great job updating the green rooms in the back. I mean, I've been there with Shaggy.
Oh, fun.
Oh, wow. Okay, I'll hear that story out there.
Yeah, exactly. There was different smells. It was really nice. It was really, really nice. I loved it. It really brings the headliners there.
Henry Meyer Festival Park is a significant point of difference. It's one of one when you think about the infrastructure, the stages, what we're able to offer not only artists but fans in terms of permanent restrooms, permanent, being able, if you have any sort of mobility challenges, being able to access those grounds and a flat asphalt surface, but also just all the permanent infrastructure along Lake Michigan. It's really, really special. So hopefully everyone that comes down has a really good experience.
Do you get to see the shows? Do you get to at least stay and stand backstage and take in a little bit when you're working your butt off during these weeks?
So I make a commitment to never stop walking, never stop moving. So I try to see as much music as I can, both just from a business standpoint as well as personally. It is such a special thing to walk from the U-Line stage all the way down to the amphitheater and everything in between, and just take it in. So I would say that it is, yes, I do. But I also try to keep moving so that I can see it all, which is what I advise anyone to do. Just keep walking. You never know your next favorite band that you'll discover.
Here's what you need to do. Go to summerfest.com right now. Tickets are on sale. You can see the lineups. You can see all the new things that are on the grounds. It's summerfest.com. I was on there getting ready for the interview. It's an incredible website. Sarah Pancari is the president and CEO of Milwaukee World Festivals. It's so good to have you here, Sarah. Thank you.
Thank you for having me, and we'll see you in 30 days.
30 days.
What a fantastic job.
It's
right?
a great job.
It's a privilege of a gig. I'm very fortunate.
It's the best job.
It is 3:24 at WTMJ.
The Memorial Day sale is on at your local running store. Get savings store-wide on all your favorite home, farm, and outdoor gear for spring and summer. Patriotic hanging baskets only $12.99. Save on push, riding, and zero-turn mowers from Cub Cadet. Runnings has all things for grilling, outdoor furniture, and outdoor fun. Feed the moments that matter with a full line of Nutrina pet foods. Get your vehicle ready for summer with products from Harvest King, Rain-X, and more. Military, police, fire, and EMTs get an extra 10% off in-store on Memorial Day. Runnings now with 80 locations. Go to runnings.com for the store in your community.
Hi everybody, I'm Susan Hiller from Hiller Ford. People just seem to love the new Ford Broncos. Lucky for us and our customers, we have a huge selection of full-size Broncos and Bronco Sports in stock. Plus, we have great prices. Right now, you can get a new 2023 Bronco Sport with 0% financing for 66 months. This is just one of the many great deals going on right now at Hiller Ford. Stop in today and find out why so many people love to buy from Hiller Ford.
Get ready to reach new heights when EAA AirVenture Oshkosh returns July 22nd through the 28th. Witness breathtaking aerobatic air shows each day, explore family-friendly activities, and discover thousands of aircraft. I love all the planes. Don't miss the night air shows on Wednesday and Saturday night. Back performing this year are the Canadian Forces Snowbirds. The Snowbirds are incredible. Experience the thrill of flight and make memories that will last a lifetime at EAA AirVenture Oshkosh. One of the great things we do during our Wisconsin summer. Make sure you're there. We're going to be broadcasting there on Friday the 26th. Thanks to Boeing, youth ages 18 and under are free, Free free. Get your tickets at eaa.org/tickets.
Another MVP has joined the roster at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Dr. Ryan Stefanchek. Board certified in sports medicine, physical medicine, and rehabilitation, Dr. Stefanchek specializes in non-operative treatment of the spine, chronic pain, all joints, all musculoskeletal problems, and more, emphasizing holistic care first, with a focus on diet, sleep, stress management, and social connections for a patient's well-being. At Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference.
There's a reason people sold to Grandview Homes instead of using a real estate agent.
Very fair price. No real estate agent fees or closing costs.
Within weeks, we had closed and couldn't be happier.
Visit GrandviewHomes.com to discover the easiest and fastest way to sell a home.
Not wearing your seatbelt could cost you a ticket or your life. Don't risk it. Click it or ticket. Paid for by NHTSA.
Are you looking for an exceptional deal on a new Ford? Well, look no further. I'm Susan Hiller from Hiller Ford. We have slash prices on all remaining 2023 Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs. This includes America's favorite truck, the Ford F-150, with 0% 60-month financing plus a $2,000 factory FlexBuy cash bonus. It's a great time for big savings. Do yourself a favor and stop in. Find out why so many people love to buy from Hiller Ford.
Time for the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The S&P 500 and the NASDAQ pop records today. How'd they do? The S&P was up 13 points. The NASDAQ up 38 more points. Even the Dow climbed up. It was up 56 points on the day. It's a great time for your retirement and investment strategy review from a fee-only fiduciary. Go to annexwealth.com. Click the Get Started button today.
Inflation, market volatility, global unrest, a presidential election. There's a lot going on, which might lead to anxiety and planning paralysis. You're not alone if you're feeling stressed about your investment and retirement planning. How about this? Take control with help from Annex Wealth Management. Build a plan that works for you, your family, and your investment and retirement goals. Even better, Annex does it as a fee-only fiduciary with unbiased advice that includes tax and estate planning. Annex offers financial planning at every level. If you're just starting out, Annex Ignite might be for you. Annex Comprehensive Wealth is a great fit for most, especially with retirement on the horizon. And if you've got high net worth and complex planning challenges, consider Annex Private Client. Head to annexwealth.com and click the Get Started button. It only takes a few minutes to start the conversation, and you can set your own appointment at a time that works for you. It's time to put things in order and lower the stress and anxiety. Know the difference with a fee-only fiduciary. That's Annex Wealth Management. annexwealth.com.
Memorial Day honors the incredible sacrifices made by our brave Americans who served in the United States military. At Tabak Law, we honor these sacrifices year-round by ensuring veterans receive all of the benefits they are entitled to from the Department of Veterans Affairs. I'm attorney Jim Brzezinski at Tabak Law. If you were denied or feel that your disability claim has been incorrectly evaluated by the VA, let's discuss how Tabak Law can help you get the benefits you deserve. At Tabak Law, we fight for those who fought for us. Visit tabakattorneys.com.
Outdoor living is great, but it's best when it's at your own home. Well, there's a company called Outdoor Living Unlimited that will build you a deck, a patio, pergola, fire pit, all manner of things to enhance outdoor living at your place, even an outdoor kitchen. Get started right away. Contact Outdoor Living Unlimited now. Get your yard project onto Outdoor Living Unlimited's calendar while there's still openings. OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Traffic is sponsored by T-Han Greenhouses in Oak Creek. Buy direct and local for all of your garden plants.
T-Han Greenhouses in Oak Creek. Come shop and see the beautiful hanging baskets and deck-ready potted plants and vegetable plants, too. T-Han Greenhouses. Buy direct from the grower. T-Han.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 3:30. I'm John Mercure. Your top story, a tragic death of a Milwaukee teen.
I'm Julia Fellow. Tornado strength winds on the way.
I'm Debbie Laziga, southbound on 43, backing up from Silver Spring down past Capitol Drive. We got the northbound side, on and off the brakes from basically Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up past Keith. Westbound 94, slow down from about 20th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. We've got a broken down vehicle on the ramp from westbound 94 to northbound 41 in the zoo. So that's something to keep in mind. Might be starting to distract people a little bit. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, please be weather aware. Storms before midnight, severe from 8 to 11. It's going to be breezy. The low will be 58 degrees. Tomorrow, partly cloudy and breezy. The high will be 73 degrees.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, family members have identified the second 15-year-old who was shot and killed in Milwaukee Saturday night. They tell our news partners at WTMJ4 that Monroe Wiso was with his best friend, 15-year-old Alejandro Sanchez, when the pair was hit by gunfire. Sanchez was a student at Greenfield High School, which released a statement about his unexpected and deeply tragic death, offering resources to impacted students. Wiso's family has set up a GoFundMe account to help bury him at the Menominee Reservation.
Could Amtrak's new Borealis line be used as a litmus test for future passenger rail expansion in Wisconsin? Department of Transportation Deputy Secretary tells WTMJ federal grants are being considered to aid in expanding service to Madison, Green Bay, and Eau Claire. Milwaukee mayor says that Amtrak expansion would benefit the regional economy.
If it means that Milwaukee and the people here and the businesses here get access to more opportunities to travel the state and more access to talent elsewhere in the state too, those are things that we should be seeking to embrace.
The Borealis line is the first Wisconsin passenger rail expansion since the short-lived Lake Country Limited between Chicago and Janesville.
Several Republicans made their appearances to plead not guilty in an Arizona courtroom today. They're accused of trying to orchestrate a scheme to get Donald Trump back to the White House in 2020. ABC's Alex Stone.
18 Republicans are accused in Arizona of trying to illegally overturn former President Trump's 2020 loss. Among the defendants appearing virtually in front of a judge, Rudy Giuliani. He called into his arraignment late, saying he got the time wrong, eventually being cut off by the judge as he started giving his views on the case.
I do consider
this indictment. I do consider this indictment a complete embarrassment.
The judge ordering Giuliani to turn himself in to law enforcement in Arizona and be subject to a $10,000 bond. Alex Stone, ABC News.
A Catholic church consolidation is in the works.
3 churches in West Dallas will merge into a single parish this summer. Holy Assumption, St. Augustine, and St. Rita will become a new parish on July 1st. No word on a new name. The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel says it's to cut costs. Now, the last time Catholic churches in West Dallas merged was 2018. Earlier this year, St. Bernard Parish in Wauwatosa announced it was closing and merging with Christ King. Eric Bilstead, WTMJ News.
Home prices in Fond du Lac are rising faster than any other market in the country, according to the National Association of Realtors. Fond du Lac home prices rose nearly 24% since the start of this year, with a median sale price of around $232,000. Racine was also in the top 10, placing 6th at a 19% increase.
A bug brood has emerged. The Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources confirmed the emergence of cicadas in Wisconsin, specifically Lake Geneva. A resident of Lake Geneva sent photos of newly emerged cicadas just last Friday. The insects will keep emerging into June, but won't appear again in Wisconsin until 2041.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All sports desk. The Brewers look to bounce back tonight against the Marlins following last night's 3-2 loss in 10 innings. Coverage of tonight's game begins at 5:05 on WTMJ. Rookies and veterans are mixing for the first time in Green Bay as the Packers continue Block 1 of organized team activities. And the conference finals begin in the NBA tonight. It's the Boston Celtics hosting the Indiana Pacers.
Up next, a tasteless post online.
I literally myself almost passed out when I saw that picture.
The fallout from a graphic photo connected to a heinous crime is coming up at 3:36.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 3:35.
Visit family-owned Ken Michaels Furniture and our in-store design centers where you'll still find beautiful, luxurious, heirloom-quality American-made furniture. Right now, save 30 to 35% store-wide and take advantage of our complimentary design services. Whether you're moving, renovating, or updating, our designers will help your vision become a reality. Visit Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield on Capitol Drive and in Greenfield on Highway 100 to save 30 to 35% store-wide today. Sleep better and save more with mattresses from Milwaukee Mattress and Ken Michaels Furniture. Handcrafted in our Milwaukee factory, our mattresses utilize natural materials like cotton cushioning, which dissipates body heat, Joma wool quilts for warm wintry nights and cool summer evenings, and natural latex providing superior conformability and pressure relief for aching joints. Stop in today at any Ken Michaels Furniture store and save up to 50% compared to national brands.
Hey, coming up in just a couple of minutes, our Salute to Service. Steve Scaffidi's Salute to Service will introduce you to a first responder making a big difference. And also, Major Garrett, CBS Chief Washington Correspondent, with some history when it comes to the chaos we saw in Congress last week. So Major Garrett's with us in 10 minutes on WTMJ.
So there's outrage after a graphic social media post by a Waukegan, Illinois alderman with a picture of a severed arm found along Lake Michigan.
I literally myself almost passed out when I saw that picture.
I saw the picture. I showed it to you, John. It was blurred, and it was disgusting.
Heinous, gross, ugh.
That was the city's mayor on WISN. I agree it's heinous. It may be connected to the dismemberment case of Sade Robinson. She went on a first date with Maxwell Anderson. We've been following this case from the very beginning. She was never seen alive again after that first date. Her body parts have been found all over Milwaukee County, not just the city, the county, Cudahy, upper Milwaukee area, northern Milwaukee. Her foot was found. It was just terrible. Her torso was just found in South Milwaukee. Anderson is behind bars now, charged with her murder. Her family traumatized, as well as the community. So I don't know why this Waukegan alderman, Keith Turner, he's now being called out for posting that graphic photo of the severed arm on Facebook. I don't know why he did this. He captioned it, "A shocking discovery at Waukegan Beach!" exclamation point. A severed arm found, but no reporter mentioned from the administration. And then there was some ghost shock face emoji again. What's the story behind this mysterious incident? With a detective emoji. Ugh. He since took it down, but it's too late. Robinson's mother saw it. She's outraged and disgusted. A concerned citizen, Jim Damiano, spoke last night at the city council meeting. Here's what he said.
One of you posted a photograph on social media of a young lady's arm that was found on the Waukegan beach. This was somebody's daughter. You thought that was okay? What is wrong with you people? How could you do that? How could you do that? And then not say anything about it after you were called on the carpet about this. You had 3 days to say, I effed up. Bad decision, sorry. But you didn't. And how the hell did somebody get that photograph? It is about humanity.
That's a really good question. How did he get that photograph?
Well, it's like the Kobe case. I mean,
Totally.
Law enforcement has access to this stuff. So I want to, before you go on, I want to comment. I have family that lives down there. The mayor who you referenced earlier does not get along with the alderman in the middle of this, Keith Turner. They don't like each other. Keith Turner would like to be mayor. Keith Turner decided to take a shot at the mayor. What's going on with the administration? Where this arm's found? He tried to take a shot at the mayor and somehow make her team look bad without thinking at all about Sade Robinson's family and the fact that this is somebody's arm, like a real person.
Right? I mean, it could have been just the question, not with the photo, right?
Right.
So that alderman never said a thing last night. Experts are trying to positively identify the arm to make sure it belongs to Sade Robinson. That part of the arm on her body is still missing, so they believe that it's hers. The council plans to censure the alderman in the next city council meeting. And here's the mayor talking to WISN.
I was outraged, like most people should be. As a mother and a grandmother myself, I can't even imagine what they're going through. And then to have to see that, it's despicable. Waukegan cares about them, and that this is not something that the city supported in any way, shape, or form. This was an individual.
That individual is running against her for mayor, by the way.
Right.
Sade Robinson's family, they're disgusted. They sent out a statement. They were appealing to the family, by the way. You were mentioning this, of the accused killer, Maxwell Anderson. The mother of slain Milwaukee teen Sade Robinson is pleading with the parents of Maxwell Anderson to convince him to confess to the killing and dismemberment so the rest of her body can be discovered. It's terrible.
This is a very interesting point and an interesting question. I've been thinking about this off and on all day since I read this. So if your son is accused of this awful crime and dismemberment, and the woman who's dead comes to you and says, I want you to go to your son and get him to confess to it so we can recover the body. Do you do that? I think your instinct as a parent, no matter how heinous the act, is to stand by your child. And to want to believe that they didn't do it, to want to believe they weren't involved. But you hear the pain in Sade Robinson's mom's voice. Do you go to your son and say, please, I will love you no matter what you did because you're my child, but now's the time to do the right thing and to confess, to help this family bring closure? Not to mention Maxwell Anderson's attorneys. They don't want him to confess. It's a tough, ugly, terrible situation.
I don't think his defense attorney, if it's still Anthony Cotton, would let him do that.
Yeah, we both know Anthony Cotton.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very good question. So if Maxwell Anderson said, I'm gonna tell them where I dumped the body parts, and I'm gonna stand up and say that I did this, what would happen?
I
How
don't
would
think that he'd get a lesser sentence. I'll tell you that much.
No, I think you're right about that. You're not going to get mercy if you really committed this terrible act because you decide a month later to discuss where you got rid of her.
Maxwell Anderson's father sent out a statement, too, saying condolences to the family. So obviously, I don't know, must have talked to his son.
It's terrible. I mean, Sade Robinson's family will never get over this. Maxwell Anderson's family will never get over this either. It's now their legacy also if their son did this.
I know. And that house, everyone keeps going by it.
It's a terrible,
It's like a
terrible
zoo.
situation. And that alderman in Waukegan, I mean, that guy should be out of office. That's atrocious.
I don't care whose body part it was. It's a human body part. Why would you do that?
What are you doing? Trying to score cheap political points. It's 3:42 at WTMJ. So politics in D.C. got really crazy last week. We're going to play some of the clips where Congress dissolved into chaos, and Major Garrett, CBS's chief Washington correspondent, has some perspective. He's with us up next on WTMJ.
Throughout history, some people have been born into greatness because of their name or family. Others gained greatness because of their actions. On Wisconsin's Morning News, we celebrate everyday heroes, the John or Jane Doe who had no idea when they woke up one morning they'd be saving a life. Everyday Heroes, Thursday at 6:40 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Presented by Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, transforming the culture of care.
We find the best way to protect and uphold the reputation of our business is to hire good people and then take care of them. We really do love the people that work for us, and we care about what's in their best interest. And what that means to you is this: who do you really want on your job? Someone who's maybe underpaid or doesn't feel appreciated, might not have paid vacations or great work benefits? Our folks have all of these things and more. Vito and I make sure they feel appreciated, because happy people do happy work. There's a culture we're building here at Semper Fi that brings respect back to a very hard job. And that's why we know that our crews are going to do the kind of work that you expect. This is Brad Youngluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semper Fi.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Steve Scafidi. Right now, schedule your free in-home estimate, and for every 2 windows you buy, get the next 2 free. Plus a free upgrade to triple pane glass, and they'll double your energy tax credit. Restrictions apply. Just like me, you'll be saying,
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
At Uline, they know firsthand the road to success is an uphill climb. Uline started in the family basement, and through hard work is now North America's most trusted shipping and industrial supplier. They get what it means to have the support of reliable, hard-working partners. So they keep 41,000 items ready to ship. Whether your company is still in a basement office or expanding cross-country, Uline will be there on your road to success. Visit uline.com.
Here's to sweet summer days together with friends and family in Wisconsin. To discovering magic in every moment.
Hey, Mom, over here.
And to reconnecting through a world filled with wonder.
Wow.
Here's to supper club celebrations and dancing until the sun goes down. Here's to those who Wisconsin. Plan your summer getaway at travelwisconsin.com.
Traffic is sponsored by Flanders Home Entertainment, Flanders.com. Just press play.
Upgrade your entertainment setup today. For the best in audio and video for your home, indoors and outdoors, Flanders Home Entertainment delivers sound advice at the best price. Flanders, just press play.
Traffic and weather. Let's get a look outside with Debbie Lazaga.
All right, we got some delays along southbound 41, starting at Silver Spring all the way down past Capitol Drive. Heavy ride around Hampton Avenue down past Capitol as well on 43. Northbound side from Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up to Keith. That's going to be a heavy ride. We've also got westbound 94. Watch for delays from 25th Street out to about Mitchell Boulevard. Westbound 894 also backing up a bit out of the Mitchell interchange all the way to 68th Street. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, strong straight line winds that could turn into some pop-up tornadoes. Need to be weather aware tonight. Between 8 p.m. and 11 p.m., storms will be going on through midnight. Some severe. It's going to be breezy, low will be 58 degrees. Wind gusts up to 30 miles an hour as well throughout the night. Wednesday, partly cloudy, breezy. The high will be 73 degrees. Thursday, mostly sunny and warm. The high will be 77. Friday, partly cloudy, a chance of showers and storms. 73 at the lake, 78 inland. Saturday, partly cloudy and a slight chance of showers and storms throughout the day. The high will be 72 degrees.
Major Garrett, CBS's Chief Washington correspondent, is going to be with us in just a second. First, we want to check in with WTMJ's Adam Roberts, who is a breaking news situation. A major police presence in the heart of downtown at Mason and Water. Adam is there. Adam, what can you tell us?
John and Julia, I am now over at Mason and Broadway, where just a few moments ago, more police tape went up on scene. There is a very, very heavy MPD presence. There's a lot of people standing around. Traffic is being redirected on Wisconsin Avenue as well. A lot of this seems to be centered in and around the area of the Milwaukee Athletic Club. Now, there's nothing I can report as to what the presence is about, but there are police. Some of them have their long guns not drawn, but on their person. There's a lot of standing around, a lot of people trying to gauge what's going on as well. But yeah, traffic is blocked in several areas of downtown, including on Mason, just east of the river, all the way up to about Milwaukee Street. You will not be able to get through on Mason, and traffic also being redirected onto East Wisconsin Avenue towards the lakefront as well.
WTMJ's Adam Roberts. All right, Adam, please keep us updated as the afternoon goes on.
Will do.
348 at WTMJ. Want to bring in our friend, Major Garrett. His book is The Big Truth. His podcast is Agent of Betrayal, which is really good stuff. He is with us on the hotline. Major, thank you for being with us.
Oh, great to be with you, John and Julia. How is everyone?
Everybody's good. I want to play a couple clips for you, then ask you to comment. This took place in the U.S. House last week. It began with Republican Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene calling out Democratic Representative Jasmine Crockett's eyelashes.
Do you know what we're here for? You know we're here about AG.
I don't think you know what you're here for.
Well, you the one talking about.
I think your fake eyelashes are messing up.
No, ain't nothing.
Hold on.
Listen.
Order. Mr. Chairman,
that's beneath even you.
order of your committee. Order.
Oh, man.
Then Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez got in the middle of it. Taylor Greene fired back at her, and then Crockett spoke back up during the raucous hearing addressing Taylor Greene.
I'm just curious, just to better understand your ruling, if someone on this committee then starts talking about somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body, that would not be engaging in personalities, correct?
A what now?
A what now? Well, Taylor Greene had a what now.
I think my body's pretty good. I'm going to be 50
Point of order.
this month. I am. I turned 50.
Okay.
Oh, my.
I can't believe this is in the U.S. Congress. Major Garrett has covered Congress for a very long time. He is with us. Give us some perspective, Major. What were your thoughts when you heard this playing out?
Okay, so the simplistic answer would be to say, oh, it's chaotic, it's lacking decorum, there's a breakdown in civility, all of which is true, but doesn't go far enough to, I believe, capture the politics of our time, particularly in the House of Representatives. And I've had a lot of conversations with lawmakers who used to serve in the House, who are there now, but are wondering if they're going to continue, and young members who are sort of understanding the new methods. And the new methods basically are this. Party discipline is necessary, but you don't need to take your cues from House leadership, either Democratic or Republican. You certainly don't need to take any cues from your state party or your county party or your national party. What you do take cues from is your ability to monetize your campaign on social media. Moments like this, contentious moments especially, where you're quote-unquote fighting for yourself or engaging in personal conflict with another member of Congress across the ideological divide, don't exist, and incentives along the lines of fundraising and visibility on social media do push more and more members, especially younger ones, in this exact direction.
Did you see them make more money? Did you see them fundraise a lot, like Marjorie Taylor Greene?
So what happens is events like this create viral moments, which not only we talk about, but are talked about and kicked around and ricochet across social media, quite independent of whether we talk about them. And they increase visibility and over time, not instantaneously, but over time. But Jasmine Crockett has put together T-shirts based on this. I guarantee you Marjorie Taylor Greene will reference it in either her next media appearances or in social media or in something else. So maybe not instantaneously, but over time, they are part of a fundraising mechanism.
So, Major, you talk about the fringes and appealing to the two fringes in each party, but I wonder if somewhere in the middle there is a softening or people are tired of this, and I cite as that the fact that Marjorie Taylor Greene tried to get rid of another speaker who didn't do what she wanted to do and failed miserably just last week, I think it was, or the week before, with Speaker Johnson. What does that tell you about the state of things within the Republican caucus?
Well, what it tells me is there is and this is consistent with what I just observed. So for Marjorie Taylor Greene, her authenticity is her brand. And her authenticity doesn't have to do with party loyalty. She's supposed to be against the system. And if she thinks the system, whatever that is, and she rarely, if ever, defines it, is being advanced even by the Republican Speaker of the House to maintain her authenticity. She will try to take that speaker down. Even in failing, Marjorie Taylor Greene still gains something, which is, if not the ultimate goal, reinforcing her quote-unquote authenticity. Where things are now in legislative politics in Washington is it's more important to be, quote, authentic, and I really do put that in quotes because that definition changes all the time, and it produces almost zero results. Washington used to be judged based on results. How do you advance your cause? How do you advance the cause of your party or your coalition? Now it's about how do you authenticate your ability to fight. Fight to what end, though? That's the missing answer for many of those who occupy the fringes of both the right and the left.
Major, the best athletes in the world say that they don't care about winning MVPs. They don't care about their batting average. They care about whether their team wins. It seems like this is the opposite. You can talk about a lot of these individuals on both sides that seem more concerned with their personal brand and winning than they do about achieving anything or moving any agenda forward.
Sure. And sometimes the agenda does get moved forward. There are times when legislative politics does produce outcomes. There's actually been quite a few in the Biden era. There were a fair number in the Trump era. And that is not to say this whole dialogue we're having doesn't mean that things don't happen, but they do happen differently. And they don't happen until all the participants have gotten their personal moments out of it in the part of the process. And oftentimes those personal moments or that visibility or that authenticity derails things. But even when it doesn't, you're not going to get a legislative compromise or a solution or something that's signed into law until almost every participant has had their moment in the sun, however they define it.
What was your personal impression of it, Major? I mean, I thought of The Real Housewives. That's what I thought of right away.
That is an apt comparison. And Representative Crockett was on my show, The Takeout, 2 weeks before, and we talked about her sense of Marjorie Taylor Greene. She was not complimentary then. She was certainly more willing to mix it up there. And I would say that that particular forum, the House Oversight Committee, has created probably the most intense moments of personal viciousness among members for the last 5 or 6 years. It's sort of now the place where if you really want to mix it up on a personal level, that's the committee you gravitate toward because those kinds of members want to be there. And if you're attacked or there's anything that feels like an attack, you've got to respond in kind and then up the ante, or you lose some sort of prominence on that committee and within your party. So that committee itself, more than some of the others, kind of institutionalizes that.
All right, he is Major Garrett. The Takeout, by the way, you can hear Sunday afternoons here on WTMJ. I listen to it all the time. Usually I'm in the yard or doing something else. It's good stuff. Major, thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
It is 3:56 at WTMJ. Here's Teddy Nykel at the Milwaukee Business Journal.
The Trade Hotel Workers Union files 3 allegations of unfair labor practices against parent company NCG Hospitality. NCG Hospitality disputes the allegations, saying it, quote, firmly believes in upholding employee rights, end quote. Milwaukee Tool parent company Tektronic Industries Co. Limited named Steve Richmond CEO. Richmond joins Tektronic after 17 years with the Brookfield-based Milwaukee Tool. Goodland Extracts is releasing a THC-infused gin. The gin will release with statewide distribution beginning June 28th under the brand Flipside Cannabis Spirit. Goodland Extracts is working with Badger Liquor to distribute the product. I'm Logan Hansen with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Sponsored by Grandview Homes, the name you know, the name you trust. GrandviewHomes.com.
We asked people why they sold their homes to Grandview Homes instead of using a real estate agent.
Everything they say in their ads is true and then some. Very fair price, no real estate agent fees or closing costs. They even switched the utilities out of your name.
Within weeks, we had closed and couldn't be happier.
Whether you have a hard-to-sell home, want a stress-free sale, or simply need to sell your home fast, Grandview Homes is the name you know and the name you can trust. Visit GrandviewHomes.com to discover the easiest and fastest way to sell a home.
Sit Mean Sit Dog Training. Bella and Baxter are better dogs thanks to Matt and his teams at Sit Mean Sit Dog Training. Dogs are like kids. They're great, but they don't always listen. Well, you know what? At Sit Means Sit, they taught me how to make sure my dogs do listen. I'm a better dog owner. Best trainers and best techniques at Sit Means Sit Dog Training. We started with a free consultation. You can do the same. Head on in there. They've got multiple locations. You meet the trainers or the owner. We met with Matt, the owner. They meet your dog, and then you set your appointment, and you're good to go. You, too, can have a happy, confident, obedient dog. It's Sit Means Sit Dog Training.
St. Vincent de Paul at 76th and Bradley Road is having our grand opening celebration this Father's Day weekend, June 13th through the 15th. Doors open at 9 a.m. and everything's on sale, 20% off. There'll be some great food trucks, cool giveaways, and it's a great chance for thrifters to see a whole new store's worth of inventory and bargains. 76th and Bradley in Milwaukee. Don't miss our grand opening sale, June 13th through the 15th.
Ooh, you're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
After a serious crash with a semi-truck, everything can change instantly. Your future, your family's future, your quality of life. That's why knowledge and results matter in big truck cases. And not all law firms have the know-how or the resources to handle these complicated cases. At Gruberg Law Offices, we have the experience it takes to make sure you're protected. And there's never a fee until we win your case. Gruberg Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Outdoor living is great, but it's best when it's at your own home. Well, there's a company called Outdoor Living Unlimited that will build you a deck, a patio, pergola, fire pit, all manner of things to enhance outdoor living at your place, even an outdoor kitchen. Get started right away. Contact Outdoor Living Unlimited now. Get your yard project onto Outdoor Living Unlimited's calendar while there's still openings. OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Flooring, carpeting, bath, or kitchen remodeling. Adair is the name Milwaukee has trusted for 65 years. This is Rob Adair. Ready to remodel? Give us a call, 761-3660. Get personal care from Adair, South 27th in Franklin.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Rejuvenex.com.
Traffic is sponsored by Hiller Ford, a family-owned dealership on Highway 100 in Franklin.
Are you looking for an exceptional deal on a new Ford? Look no further. Hiller Ford has just slashed prices on all remaining 2023 vehicles. Check it out at HillerFord.com.
And a high fly ball left center field. This ball is going to be back there and gone!
The Brewers show Miami what real baseball looks like. Our Brewers Marlins coverage starts tonight at 5:05. This series is sponsored by Steinhaffel's Memorial Day Sale on your home of the Milwaukee Brewers. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 4:01. I'm John Mercure. Your top story, a large police presence in downtown Milwaukee.
I'm Julia Fellow. The Borealis crossing Wisconsin.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. That police presence is going to be affecting your drive through the downtown area, so please be careful. They're diverting traffic away from Mason and Water, Broadway, Milwaukee Street areas. Please be extra careful. Onto the freeway, though, southbound from about Silver Spring all the way down past Keefe. Going to be a slow one. Northbound from Fond du Lac Avenue up past Keefe. Westbound 94. Also riding the brakes a bit out of the Marquette interchange all the way to about Mitchell Boulevard with the eastbound side. Just a little bit heavy from 76th Street all the way through to the stadium. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, storms are going to roll in here about 7 or 8 o'clock or so, and about midnight. Some could be severe. Big-time wind, a low of 58 degrees. Tomorrow, breezy with a high of 73. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a large police presence developing downtown Milwaukee near the intersection of Mason and Broadway. WTMJ's Adam Roberts is there.
There are police. Some of them have their long guns not drawn, but on their person. There's a lot of standing around, a lot of people trying to gauge what's going on as well. But yeah, traffic is blocked in several areas of downtown, including on Mason, just east of the river, all the way up to about Milwaukee Street. You will not be able to get through on Mason, and traffic also being redirected onto East Wisconsin Avenue towards the lakefront as well.
We've asked Milwaukee Police for more details. They have not yet responded. We will continue to update this story.
Wisconsin is now being served by 2 Amtrak lines as the Borealis train begins service across the state. Amtrak's Borealis is now a new 12-stop train route between Chicago and the Twin Cities, stops at St. Paul, and it also stops at both Milwaukee stations, Milwaukee Mitchell International Airport and Downtown Station. It's the second daily round-trip passenger train between the destinations. The route is in the works since 2015 and cost roughly $53 million to develop.
Fond du Lac woman is in custody after allegedly throwing bodily fluids at safety workers during a high-speed police chase Monday night. Police say the 45-year-old woman fled from multiple attempted traffic stops. At times, the chase reached speeds of 65 miles per hour through city streets. The woman has not yet been identified by Fond du Lac police.
An announcement from the Biden administration to give some relief at the pump. ABC News White House correspondent Karen Travers.
The Biden administration announced it's releasing between Memorial Day and 4th of July 1 million barrels of gasoline from the Northeast Gasoline Supply Reserve. The Energy Department says this move is strategically timed and structured to maximize its impact on gas prices, to help bring them down as Americans hit the road on summer travel. For now, gas prices for most of the country are generally where they were last year for the Memorial Day weekend. The Energy Department says the average price of regular unleaded came down 2 more cents in the past week for an average of $3.58 a gallon. Karen Travers, ABC News, Washington.
New nonstop options to the Caribbean coming to Milwaukee's Mitchell International Airport. Sun Country Airlines will add new nonstop flights to Punta Cana, Dominican Republic starting December 26th and to Montego Bay, Jamaica starting January 25th. These new flights give travelers more options, especially during peak winter and spring break travel periods. Coming up, record-breaking air travel is approaching.
Plus, people rush to the hospital after terrible turbulence on a plane. One passenger was killed, and we look at the cause of death at 4:16.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 4:04.
Discover Pella now, pay later at PellaWI.com.
Jeff Levering and wife Ashley love their patio door from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
It's so bright, it's so clear. I can see the kids outside playing, and it makes it comfortable for the life we live, which is an active one.
I love the roll screen. The fact that the screen is on the inside.
For the first time, our whole house actually feels like the same climate.
And no drafts. It's a game changer.
Hi, I'm Gina Della from Pella. And if you order today, you get 0% interest for up to 48 months. When it comes to replacing or upgrading your windows and doors, you want to be confident about your decisions. With Pella Design Works, you can see what your home could look like before you buy. Black frame windows or white, vinyl, wood, or fiberglass. Bring your vision to life and rest assured it's the perfect style for your home. Right now, get 0% interest-free financing for up to 48 months when you order by May 31st. Set your free in-home consultation at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. That's 5/31/2024.
I'm the guy that never gives 5 stars because I never believe that anything is perfect. But I would give them 20 stars if I could.
Ernest Stellar Review belongs to QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative treatments. They came through when he badly needed relief for his aching knees, and doctors had told him that surgery was the only option.
What they're doing is cutting edge, and it really helps. And I'm a tough sell.
QC Kinetics is led by National Medical Director Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, a pioneer in this field. With 20 years of clinical work, tons of research, teaching, publishing in non-surgical natural pain treatments. These are the medical pros to trust.
I'm living my life basically pain-free from what I was dealing with. So I'm a happy camper today, no doubt about it.
QC Kinetics. Call today to see if you're a candidate.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time of 4:07.
The National Weather Service has just issued a tornado watch for Walworth, Dodge, Waukesha, and Jefferson counties. It runs until midnight.
The upcoming Memorial holiday could be a busy one. The TSA says air travel could shatter previous records. ABC's Gio Benitez.
Flights planned for Thursday, another 50,000 on Friday, and then Delta is expecting to fly 3 million customers between Thursday and Monday. Just about every airline seeing packed planes right now. There are some new incentives rolling out with some airlines. Frontier and Spirit are now also ending change and cancellation fees, just like American, Delta, and United have on most tickets.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all sports desk. The Brewers look to bounce back tonight. It's the Marlins in Miami. Coverage begins on WTMJ at 5:05. Rookies and veterans are mixing for the first time in Green Bay as the Packers continue block one of organized team activities. And the conference finals begin in the NBA tonight with the Boston Celtics hosting the Indiana Pacers.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time 4:08.
$1, just $1 over cost, and you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, just $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. Our only requirements is we put them on for you. Available at all 5 Griffin stores. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
Head on in to Fleet Farm to take your lawn and garden to the next level this spring. This week, get Miracle-Gro Garden Soil on sale for only $3.99. Pick up 3 pounds of Scott's Turf Builder Sun and Shade Grass Seed at the lowest price of the season, just $12.99. And stop by our garden center to shop over 100 different types of seed and plant varieties. Find everything you need for your everyday life at Fleet Farm.
Not wearing your seatbelt could cost you a ticket or your life. Don't risk it. Click it or ticket. Paid for by NHTSA.
Wisconsin's Afternoon News is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, John McCure and Julia Fellow.
All right, hope you're having a fantastic Tuesday. Time for our Salute to Service, Steve Scafidi Salute to Service. This time it's a detective from the Washington County Sheriff's Department who's worked in public safety for his entire career, serving in many different roles. Salute to Service presented by Waterstone Bank and sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited. Here's Steve Scafidi.
Hi, this is Elizabeth Lallier, and I'm nominating my husband Tyler for the Salute to Service Award.
Hi, I'm Tyler Lallier. I am a detective for the Washington County Sheriff's Office. 18 years this last April.
I nominated him because I really appreciate how hard he works. He puts his heart and soul into work, but he's still able to come home at the end of the day and be a husband and dad. We make it work.
How do the kids feel about all of that?
The oldest, he's just super proud. He understands. He's 15. He understands the type of work that Tyler's doing. The younger ones, they just think Dad's cool. He's a hero. He puts bad guys in jail. But you can tell that they think it's awesome. And I can tell when he's had a bad day. A bad day for him looks a lot different than a bad day for me at work. I try to be supportive, and sometimes I don't even know how to do that because he can't always talk about what he's doing and seeing at work.
It's large for any department. Any individual detective, they have a bunch of cases. You have to figure out and prioritize what's important that day, who can you help, and what can you accomplish.
Well, you worked on a case involving human trafficking of children.
There's different kinds of cyber tips that come in to law enforcement regarding inappropriate content regarding children. This was one of those where an individual was suspected of possessing videos of children.
Child abuse case in Washington County leads to arrests overseas. 35-year-old Michael Westfall was arrested last July and remains in custody on $5,000 bond. Prosecutors say Westfall was communicating with a sex trafficker in the Philippines and was paying money for videos of a young boy being assaulted. This led to an investigation between U.S. and Philippine officials. They say a raid was just carried out this week, leading to 3 arrests and the rescue of 6 children.
This is one of those things that impacts every community, and nobody really knows about it on the forefront because it's just something that's done behind computer screens, and it's involving all the kids throughout the world. There's a large majority of our cases are sensitive crime style cases regarding children.
In this recent case, he was spending his entire day going through phones and computers, watching videos, looking at pictures of some of the most horrible things you could imagine and probably can't even imagine.
You have to have a good foundation, whether that be friends or family, because you're going to need support through this. If you're one of those people that holds everything in, it's going to be tough. So it's nice to have a great wife, a great family, a great work family to be able to bounce things off, to be successful.
It takes a really, really strong head, mental strength to do the things that first responders do, and especially detectives and investigators, special agents. They're digging really deep. They're working behind the scenes. I'm glad they're there doing it because it's hard work. But I'm really proud of him. His family's proud of him. His mom, his dad, our whole family. We're very proud of him, and we're glad that he's doing what he does. He's good at it.
When I say the word salute to service, what does that mean to you?
I guess acknowledging and recognizing the people behind the scenes that sacrifice a piece of themselves for the greater good. It's tough. I like staying behind the scenes. It's tough to talk about this kind of stuff, but I work with great people who I consider to be heroes. There are people that make the ultimate sacrifice. From the patrol up to the detective bureau to the court service, everybody in Washington County is great. So a salute to this is just a good nod.
The National Weather Service has issued a tornado watch.
Go to a place of safety now. A tornado warning is in effect.
The danger in the thunderstorm alone is definitely there. We have wind gusts where it's 50 miles per hour and lots of lightning in this storm system.
Keeping you updated on the weather so you can keep you and your family safe with severe weather coverage on WTMJ. Sponsored by Fleet Farm, proudly serving the Midwest since 1955.
John Mercure here for the Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network. Having chronic ringing in your ears is a frustrating thing. Tinnitus can be more than just a ringing. It can also be other sounds. Depending on the severity, having conversations in louder environments can be challenging. We talked to audiologist Marcia Dewey, who specializes in tinnitus with the Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network. Listen in as we learn what tinnitus is and what it's not by visiting our Everyday Health Chat at WTMJ.com. Just click the drop-down menu.
Are you in need of expert exterior renovations? Look no further than Ridgetop Exteriors. For over 22 years, we've been the trusted name in roofing, siding, windows, doors, and gutter replacements.
I couldn't be happier with the new roof Ridgetop Exteriors installed. It's like having a brand new home.
The team at Ridgetop Exteriors made upgrading my siding a breeze. Quality work and friendly service.
With a track record of excellence, we take pride in transforming houses into dream homes. Visit us today at ridgetopexteriors.com for a free consultation. Ridgetop Exteriors, your trusted local affordable partners.
It's Heiser's amazing sales event. With Mother's Day, Memorial Day, graduations, and more, there's a lot to celebrate this month. Whether you're giving a gift or treating yourself to a vehicle upgrade, our amazing team will help you choose the best option. And to make things even better, you'll receive our exclusive Safe and Sound program, which includes a multitude of benefits. See all offers and details at Heiser.com and let us amaze you today. At Heiser, today's your day.
See dealer for complete details.
Traffic is sponsored by Sendik's Food Market, your trusted local grocer since 1926.
Enjoy a steak and help veterans this week at Sendik's. USDA Choice Black Angus T-bone steaks are just $9.99 per pound, with a portion going to Stars and Stripes Honor Flight. Sendik's, your trusted local grocer.
Traffic and weather. Debbie Lazaga, how's that ride rolling?
Well, we got some backups, that's for sure. Southbound on 41's got a pretty hefty delay. I'm not quite sure what exactly it is. It's on the southbound just before Good Hope Roads, where it starts to slow down and doesn't let up until you get past Mill Road. So watch out for that. You're just basically sitting in traffic. Not quite sure. I'll find out what that is hopefully soon. Other than that, southbound on the bypass, backing up from Lincoln all the way down and around the Hale interchange to 84th. Westbound side's tight from the Mitchell interchange to 68th Street. And then on westbound 94, slowing from 20th Street all the way to about Hawley Road. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight's storms before midnight. A tornado watch has been issued for much of southeast Wisconsin. It runs until midnight. Tomorrow, breezy, a high of 73. Thursday, sunny, warm, a high of 77. Friday, chance for rain, a high of 78. Saturday, slight chance for rain, a high of 72 degrees. It is currently 66 degrees. One person has died. Dozens were hurt, some critically, after a Singapore Airlines jet hit severe turbulence and had to make an emergency landing in Thailand. That's what it sounded like on the airplane. Actually remarkably calm as air masks were dangling and people were trying to figure out what was going on. The flight was en route to Singapore from London, hit turbulence in an air pocket, probably near a thunderstorm in Thai airspace. Passengers say it was so bad that those who didn't have their seatbelts on were thrown into the plane's overhead bins and suffered head injuries, their heads breaking through the plastic. penetrating into the bin, and then the plane landed. Ambulances met the plane after an emergency landing at the Bangkok airport. It was a chaotic scene on the runway. Reports are several people remain in critical condition. Former Marine fighter pilot and ABC News contributor Steve Ganyard says the turbulence was likely caused by that thunderstorm and said an investigation will determine whether the crew gave passengers enough warning about the choppy air.
When the pilot and the cabin crew say, put your seatbelt on, it means put your seatbelt on. So I think there have been 4 deaths of people inside of cabins since about 1980. So it is possible to be killed by turbulence, but not if you have your seatbelt on. Nobody has ever even been hurt by turbulence if they had their seatbelt on.
We'll continue to update this story as we head through the afternoon. Want to right now get you an update on another major breaking story here in downtown Milwaukee. Major police presence near Mason and Water, kind of near Broadway as well. WTMJ's Adam Roberts is there. Adam, good afternoon. What can you tell us?
John, Julia, since the last update about a half hour ago, there's been a lot going on. I'm right now on Broadway between Wells and Mason. If you know where the London Cleaners is on Broadway, there's a parking garage right across the street where there is still a police presence. The street is blocked at Mason and at Wells. I've been seeing FBI vests walking around as well. And a few moments ago, just to my right, police placing someone in the back of a squad car. It is unclear if that was related to the heavy presence, but it did happen just to my right as I was setting up here outside of the London Cleaners on Broadway. Again, very limited information. In the parking garage, it looks like there is a police car inside underneath the exit-enter area. I also saw an officer on the roof of the garage. A lot of standing right now. As of right now, it's unclear if there will be a media staging area, but there are cameras to my left. The squad where the person was placed into the back of is to my right, and still trying to gauge what is going on. I was told a while ago by a cop that, yeah, the area is secure, you're fine to go, but as I moved over away from Water and Mason, I found a lot still going on here by this parking garage.
WTMJ's Adam Roberts. Thank you, Adam.
You bet.
It is 4:20 at WTMJ.
You know this already. Inflation is sticky. You see it on the news. You feel it at the grocery store. It's the involuntary pay cut no one wants and that we can't seem to shake. Annex Wealth Management wants to help. Now is the time to download 7 strategies you can use in an environment with elevated inflation. Learn how real assets can help, which tax-efficient strategies to consider, and one way to increase Social Security benefits. It's a free download and available now. Go to annexwealth.com/inflation.
It started with a prediction.
We'll go out there and play basketball and win.
And how many games?
6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
Sleep apnea is a serious condition. And the worst part about it is, because it affects you while you're sleeping, you don't know what this condition is doing to you.
And it was scary because I found out that I was waking up 145 times an hour. 145 times. I was scared. I wasn't getting the sleep I needed.
And that's the thing. Someone like John wakes up after thinking he's slept all night, and he's been feeling run down for years, and finally finds out something really is wrong. This is why, for us, solving sleep apnea problems is so gratifying, because we really are changing lives.
I've had more energy. I'm getting better sleep. I've been told from my wife I don't snore, but honestly, it changed my life.
This is Dr. Mothan Kandula. Solving your breathing triangle problems means a better quality of life, and you deserve that.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Results may vary.
With crippling inflation, the locally owned Mind Chef restaurant in Hartford has the best Tuesday dining value anywhere. WTMJ's John Mercure here. The all-you-can-eat Mexican buffet is just $9.99. It's all your favorite authentic Mexican food for $9.99. Kids and grandkids 5 and under eat free from the kids menu. Sunday through Thursday, they can safely play in that huge game room while you finish up your all-you-can-eat Mexican buffet. The Mine Shaft is super affordable and very family-friendly. The Wednesday and Friday fish fry is now just $4.99. That's a crazy low price, $4.99. Stop today for the Tuesday all-you-can-eat Mexican buffet for $9.99. Desserts are always buy one, get one free. Come early today. From 2 till 5, cocktails, beers, and appetizers are half price. The Mine Shaft in beautiful downtown Hartford and in Oshkosh. It's big food. It's big fun. It's the Mine Shaft. No reservations needed. Just walk on in. MineShaftRestaurant.com. The prosecution and the defense have rested in the Donald Trump trial. Julius Kim, managing partner at Kim and Lavoie, renowned criminal defense attorney, is with us on the hotline. Julius, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So the decision was made for Donald Trump not to take the stand. As a defense attorney, how difficult is that specific decision when you have a defendant who likes to talk, is outspoken, and wants to tell his part of the story, but you as his attorney realize it might not be necessary or the best thing to do?
In this case, I find most clients are willing to take our advice. If we don't think that a client should take the stand, then they usually listen to us. But we have a different defendant in this particular case, and someone who is very confident of his ability to persuade people and to kind of set the narrative. So I think it must have been particularly difficult for Donald Trump to either agree with his attorneys not to take the stand or to decide for himself that it's probably best that he not take the stand. But let me make it very clear that Donald Trump not taking the stand in this trial was not his attorney's decision. It was his decision alone.
Julius Kim of Kim and Lavoie joining us on the line talking about the Trump hush money trial. If you were his defense attorney, what would you suggest? Do you think that was a good move or a bad move? If I was on the jury, I'd want to hear from him, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely. I think juries always want to hear from a defendant in a criminal case, but I think that his attorneys advised him not to take the stand, which I think is the right call to make in this particular case. They want to make this trial about Michael Cohen and not about Donald Trump versus Michael Cohen. They want to turn this case into what I call a prove it case, saying that the government hasn't proven their case because they're relying on the testimony of a known liar, of a convicted liar. But if you put Donald Trump on the stand and things go south, or the jury just gets a bad feeling about him and thinks that Donald Trump may be lying or not credible himself, now you're pitting one person's credibility against another. It complicates things, and there's a tendency for jurors to maybe convict someone not only on the facts of the case, but because they don't like someone or because they're sensing that they're not being honest.
I understand all of that. Is there a risk that because he doesn't testify, jurors could hold that against him if their only impression of him guffawing, audibly swearing in court, sitting with his eyes closed? Is that a potential threat to his defense?
Yeah, I think that there definitely is whenever a defendant doesn't take the stand, but there are enough safeguards in place in terms of jury instructions to remind the jury, to make sure the jury doesn't hold that against a criminal defendant. Every person has the right, the constitutional right, the absolute right not to testify in a case, and that's going to be made abundantly clear to the jurors through the jury instructions. And we also just have to rely on the jurors taking those jury instructions to heart and trying to base their decision based upon the evidence that they did hear, not on the evidence that they didn't hear.
Julius, I want to ask you about the challenge with the timing now because of Memorial Day and Wednesdays being a day off in court and all of that stuff. Jurors will not be back and get closings and instructions for a week. What does that do if you're an attorney and this is your case?
Yeah, you bring up a really, really good point. There's going to be a long delay here, and it's not just a regular delay. There's a holiday in between here. So these jurors, and they probably earned that right at this point, but they're going to be off and kind of clearing up their mind a little bit. And in my opinion, that kind of hurts the prosecution, in all honesty, because at least when I was a prosecutor, there's a certain momentum that prosecutors have in their case, and they hear all the testimony. The defense case was very short, and in all honesty, not that effective, in my opinion. And so the prosecutors want to ride that wave of momentum into closing arguments and try and convince the jurors that they've proven their case while they have the chance. As more time passes, that gives the jurors more time to kind of think about things, second-guess things, wonder about things. And so if I'm a prosecutor, I don't like the fact that there's this much time passing between the end of the case and the closing arguments. But again, we just have to hope that the jurors rely on their memory and that the closing arguments are going to be effective enough to remind the jurors of everything they heard the past few weeks.
Defense attorney Julius Kim. Julius, always good to have your perspective. Thank you so much.
Thanks. I appreciate it. Take care.
It is 4:28 at WTMJ. Time for the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The S&P 500 and the NASDAQ popped to records today. The S&P was up 13 points to close at 53.21. The NASDAQ was up 38 to close at 16,832. The Dow was up 66 points on the day. It shut it down at 39,872. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
Your bathroom is boring and basic too. It seems like there's nothing you can do. A better bath awaits. You'll feel brand new, relaxing in a world of peace at the Bath Authority.
It's WTMJ Steve Scafidi. Right now, schedule your free in-home estimates and get $1,500 off a new shower or bath. Plus 36 months of interest-free financing. Restrictions apply. A better bath awaits.
At the Bath Authority.
Grab tickets to any Brewers game now. Next up, it's a can't-miss homestand against the Cubs and the White Sox the week of May 27th through June 2nd. Open up a new chapter of the I-94 rivalry May 27th through the 30th as the Brewers take on the Cubs. Then join Happy Days theme night for a Bronze Fonz bobblehead at the game on Friday, May 31st. Get in on a big week of Brewers action now at brewers.com/tickets.
Before you go looking for an area rug that you'll have to settle for because you think that the one you really want will be out of your budget, come to Design Exchange, where you'll find a formidable selection of Oriental, Persian, and other wool area rug choices at 25 to 70% off retail. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating taste come to find premium home decor on consignment at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
In Heartland, you're going to find a focus on distinctive furniture, unique antiques, and original artwork, along with tasteful home decor that can fit almost any budget. In Pewaukee, the focus is on kitchen, outdoor, and garden decor, and all of it is priced at 25 to 40% off retail. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating taste come to find premium home decor on consignment at a value.
Design Exchange.
Sponsored by Flanners Home Entertainment. Flanners.com. Just press play.
Upgrade your entertainment setup today. For the best in audio and video for your home, indoors and outdoors, Flanners Home Entertainment delivers sound advice at the best price. Flanners. Just press play.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 4:31. I'm John Mercure. Your top story: the cuffs come out after a police chase in downtown Milwaukee.
I'm Julia Fellow. Get ready for a round of severe weather tonight.
I'm Debbie Laziga. Still seeing some slowing on 41 southbound from before the county line all the way down past Appleton Avenue, just before Mill Roads, where it starts to open up. I'm not quite sure if there's an actual accident there, but there's definitely those delays that just suddenly get better by the time you get to Silver Spring. Westbound 94 backed up out of the Marquette all the way to Hawley Road. Eastbound slow from 84th Street to about 35th, and southbound 894 backing up from Greenfield Avenue down and around the Hale interchange all the way to Forest Home. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The National Weather Service has issued a tornado watch for Walworth, Dodge, Waukesha, Washington, and Jefferson counties until midnight tonight. Storms before midnight. Most severe, 8 to 11 p.m. And there might be a tornado that could be popping up. Some isolated tornadoes, according to Storm Team 4. A low of 58. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, breezy. The high will be 73 degrees.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a number of Milwaukee police officers remain downtown this afternoon, dozens of them gathering near the intersection of Mason and Broadway. WTMJ's Adam Roberts is on the scene.
The street is blocked at Mason and at Wells, and a few moments ago, just to my right, police placing someone in the back of a squad car. It is unclear if that was related to the heavy presence, but it did happen just to my right outside of the London Cleaners on Broadway. Again, very limited information. In the parking garage, it looks like there is a police car inside underneath the exit enter area. I also saw an officer on the roof of the garage, and still trying to gauge what is going on.
Milwaukee police telling WTMJ the incident is related to a vehicle pursuit but did not expand. We'll continue to update this story throughout the afternoon on WTMJ.
A 13-year-old boy has been arrested in connection to the killing of two 15-year-old boys. No charges filed yet. Best friends Monroe Wesso and Alejandro Sanchez were hit by gunfire on Saturday night in Milwaukee. Sanchez was a student at Greenfield High School, which released a statement about his unexpected and deeply tragic death, offering resources to impacted students. Wesso's family has set up a GoFundMe account to help bury him at the Menominee Reservation. Milwaukee police said they're seeking two additional known suspects in connection to the shooting.
A Catholic church consolidation is in the works.
3 churches in West Dallas will merge into a single parish this summer. Holy Assumption, St. Augustine, and St. Rita will become a new parish on July 1st. No word on a new name. The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel says it's to cut costs. Now, the last time Catholic churches in West Dallas merged was 2018. Earlier this year, St. Bernard Parish in Wauwatosa announced it was closing and merging with Christ King. Eric Bilstead, WTMJ News.
Could Amtrak's new Borealis line be used as a litmus test for future passenger rail expansion in Wisconsin? Department of Transportation Deputy Secretary tells WTMJ federal grants are being considered to aid an expansion service to Madison, Green Bay, and Eau Claire, while Milwaukee's mayor says Amtrak expansion would benefit the regional economy.
If it means that Milwaukee and the people here and the businesses here get access to more opportunities to travel the state and more access to talent elsewhere in the state too, those are things that we should be seeking to embrace.
This line is the first Wisconsin passenger rail expansion since a short-lived Lake Country Limited between Chicago and Janesville.
A comedian who has the condition known as dwarfism is bringing his Red Hot tour to Milwaukee later this month.
All I'm saying is the handicap parking spaces will be taken at the PAP.
Brad Williams, a guest on Wisconsin's Morning News, stands less than 4.5 feet tall, but his comedy is giant.
When I started doing comedy, there were a lot of little people that were upset at me because they thought that I was kind of exploiting myself. But then once people see the comedy, they go, oh, that's what he's doing.
Back-to-back shows at the Pabst on May 31st. Vince Vitrano, WTMJ News.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Brewers look to bounce back tonight against the Marlins following Monday night's 3-2 loss in 10 innings. Coverage of tonight's game begins at 5:05 right here on WTMJ. Rookies and veterans are mixing for the first time in Green Bay as our Packers continue block one of organized team activities. The conference finals begins in the NBA Finals tonight with the Boston Celtics hosting the Indiana Pacers. All right, be weather aware tonight. Meteorologist Craig Copleen times out severe storm potentials next.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 4:36.
Sponsored by Grandview Homes, the name you know, the name you trust. Grandview.
To Grandview Homes instead of using a real estate agent.
I decided that spending the time and money to rehab the unit and sell it through conventional means was not in my best interest. They give you a fair price offer, close quickly, and pay promptly. The process with Grandview was virtually effortless.
Whether you have a hard-to-sell home, want a stress-free sale, or simply need to sell your home fast, Grandview Homes is the name you know and the name you can trust. Visit GrandviewHomes.com to discover the easiest and fastest way to sell a home.
St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores seem to always have a great selection of women's summer clothing. Every year I check out their new selection and I can usually find great deals on a cute pair of shorts or capris or a pretty sundress. And they always seem to have a few tank tops I like too. Plus, buying gently used clothing is like recycling, so I help the environment. St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield and 23rd and Lincoln in Milwaukee.
Ooh, you're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Wisconsin's Afternoon News on WTMJ.
The National Weather Service has issued a tornado watch for Walworth, Dodge, Waukesha, Washington, and Jefferson counties until midnight. If you look at the radar right now, just in the last few minutes, actually, a nice-sized cell popped up west of Madison, and there's a lot of stuff south and west of there. Meteorologist Craig Copleen is with us. Craig, good afternoon. Thanks for being here.
Hi there, John, Julia. Good afternoon, everybody.
This seems pretty definitive that we're going to definitely get heavy weather. It's just going to be how heavy and serious does it get, it looks like, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. It is unlikely that we would escape thunderstorms completely. What we hope is that the storms are maybe starting to trend downward or weaken a little bit by the time they get here. And there's a tell in the National Weather Service's tornado watch that they just issued. You mentioned the counties under the watch, and I'm sure you noticed it does not include Milwaukee County. It doesn't include any of the lakeshore counties. And that's a tell that there's belief in the National Weather Service office that the conditions near Lake Michigan may have an impact on the line of powerful storms when they get closer to the lakeshore, and that would lead to them diminishing somewhat, not completely, but somewhat in intensity when they make it to the city.
There's some wind turbines in Iowa, Craig, that look like they're snapped like twigs. How bad is the wind going to be?
Yeah, that's where the big show is right now, Julia. John just mentioned the thunderstorm in southwest Wisconsin from around Madison to Platteville. There's one little rogue storm. There may be another rogue storm or two developing in southern Wisconsin here over the next hour or two. But the big show is what's going on in Iowa right now. Those are the storms that are going to move through here after 8 o'clock tonight. I'm looking at the radar now and I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different tornado warnings in Iowa right now, including one for the city of Des Moines. All of that is going to race across Iowa and across southern Wisconsin and impact us here in southeast Wisconsin later on tonight, beginning with our western counties. Around 8 o'clock or so, maybe they get to Waukesha at 9 or so, and then into Milwaukee at 10. By 11, and certainly by midnight, I think all the storms are gone out over the lake. So this is a 8 o'clock to 12 o'clock kind of a thing, maybe only 8 to 11, frankly, given how fast the storms are moving, outside of, again, a couple of rogue storms out in front of the big show, as John just mentioned, the one out there near Madison.
That's awful. How's the hail going to be?
I don't know that hail is going to be a major issue in terms of size. It may be a major issue with some of the storms in terms of amounts. There may be a lot of small pea-size hail. I don't know that we're going to see hail the size of golf balls or larger with these storms, but there certainly is the potential for there to be a lot of small pea-size hail. And of course, with storms of this nature, torrential rain is always a concern. The good news on that front is the storms are going to be moving very quickly. So if there is any street flooding or creek or river flooding around, I think that should only be temporary, as the storms are going to come and go pretty fast.
So, Craig, a lot of times when we're expecting severe weather at night, a lot of that's dependent on what happened late during the daylight hours. Based on what you've seen with cloud cover and temperatures, has it been ripe for things to get nasty around here, or did we kind of calm things down during the day?
No, it's been ripe, John, and that's a really good call on your part. Most places away from Lake Michigan have warmed up and gotten more humid this afternoon. It's not middle of summer warm. It's not middle of summer humid, but the temperature's up into the 70s. The dew points are in the 60s, again, away from Lake Michigan. So this is an environment conducive to rapidly developing strong thunderstorms. What hasn't happened is that hasn't happened near the lake, and there's now some indications that it may not. And that's why areas up and down the lakeshore may escape the worst of this. I know there's that old wives' tale that Lake Michigan protects Milwaukee and other places near the lake from tornadoes and very dangerous thunderstorms. That's true to a point. It does in certain situations. It certainly does not in all situations. Tonight may be one of the situations where it does, because it hasn't gotten real warm and real humid lakeside.
And it looks like La Crosse, Eau Claire, western Wisconsin, their risk is even more enhanced for severe weather. Is that what you're seeing?
Exactly. The farther west you are in Wisconsin, the higher the threat of dangerous, damaging storms and tornadoes. You're exactly right. From around Eau Claire south, down the Mississippi River, all the counties that border the Mississippi River, and maybe one county east of there, all the way down to Grant County, the southwesternmost county in Wisconsin, where Platteville is. Those are the counties, and then farther west into southern Minnesota and Iowa. That's where the threat is highest for tornadoes. And that's because what's going on out there right now is we have these thunderstorms developing as individual cells, individual supercells, and those are more apt to produce tornadoes than a line of thunderstorms. Now, tornadoes can come out of these lines. I know you've seen them on the radar, a solid line of thunderstorms. Tornadoes can come out of those as well, but they're not as frequent as when you get these very discrete, individualized supercell thunderstorms. That's what's going on in Iowa and Minnesota this afternoon. Those will move into southwest Wisconsin over the next couple of hours. But I think as they start to move across Wisconsin in our direction, all of those individualized thunderstorm cells will start to congeal into a line, and that'll bring the probability of tornadoes down at least a little as the storms approach southeast Wisconsin.
Meteorologist Craig Copleen, thank you so much, Craig.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
You can keep it here for the very latest on the weather. Hey, let's give away some Brewers tickets. It's Ticket Tuesday. We give away tickets every Tuesday. For the next Tuesday that the Brewers are in town, that would be next Tuesday. They host the Cubs. Caller number...
Dr. Raymond, give us a number.
What's your lucky number, Dr. Raymond?
8. Wow, okay.
Dr. John Raymond says caller number 8. You win tickets, so send him a thank you note if you get through. Caller number 8 at 855-616-1620. Good luck, everybody.
Oh, Miami. Remember this guy?
Yelich sends one to right center and deep. Get out of here and gone.
Brewers' Christian Yelich, elected the most valuable player in his first season with the club after being traded.
At the track, wall, gone. Christian Yelich, number 5 on the season.
The Brewers head south to take a load off in Miami. Network coverage begins at 5:05 on your home of the Brewers, WTMJ. This series is sponsored by Steinhaffel's Memorial Day Sale.
Guthrie and Fry water conditioning. Better water makes a big difference. Guthrie and Fry. I've got Guthrie and Fry in my house. I trust them. Oh, it's more important than the water you drink. Maybe the air you breathe, but that's about it. Make sure your water is protected. I've got a Guthrie and Fry water softener. I've got a reverse osmosis system, meaning the water we cook with, the water we drink is crisp, clean, clear. It's Guthrie and Fry. Quality products and services at a fair price from a local company you can trust. They've got fixed rental rates, comprehensive, reliable products and services, everyday competitive pricing. It's Guthrie and Fry Water Conditioning, Southeast Wisconsin's #1 choice.
This country is a gift from God, but it can't be our ultimate because we were made for the giver of those gifts, the God who sent his son to prove to you what you mean to him, that you are worth his ultimate sacrifice.
Hear Dr. Michael Ziegler's message for Memorial Day this week on The Lutheran Hour.
The Lutheran Hour, Sunday mornings at 6:30 on WTMJ.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Brian Wickert, owner of Wisconsin's own AccuNet Mortgage. I get that most home shoppers just go with their bank when it comes to getting pre-approved, but that's probably a mistake because banks have a lot of overhead, like branches, fancy headquarters, and layers of management. That means their closing costs are typically $1,000 to $3,000 higher than AccuNet's for exactly the same rate. And that's not all. Bank pre-approval letters are usually weak and unconvincing, especially compared to AccuNet's rock-solid, fully verified pre-approval that provides a $2,000 guarantee to you and the seller. Our senior loan consultants will also look at every possible way to strengthen your offer and pre-approval in the eyes of that seller, especially if you're offering over the asking price. We even call the listing agent to reinforce what a great buyer you are. Banks don't do all that. Click on the blue button today at AccuNet.com and let our passionate mortgage pros help you win while you save a bunch of money, too. That's ACCUNET.com.
Don't paint, don't vinyl, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Time for another new coat of paint on your house? Get Rhino Shield ceramic coating. You won't have to paint again for 25 years guaranteed. Now until June 21st, get 15% off with 12 months same as cash financing. Visit RhinoShieldWIS.com.
Don't paint, don't vinyl, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Traffic and weather. Let's get a look outside with Debbie Lazaga. Hey, Deb.
Hey there. Still seeing some delays coming in from south of Main Street on 41 southbound all the way down past Appleton Avenue. Something to keep in mind. We've also got some backups on westbound 94 coming out of the Marquette all the way to Hawley Road. The eastbound side, we're getting backed up right about 92nd Street all the way through the stadium as well. Southbound 43 backed up from Hampton down past Keefe, back on the brakes from just north of Fond du Lac Avenue down through the Marquette and over the high-rise bridge. It's on and off the brakes all the way down to the KK River. Northbound 43 slow from Fond du Lac Avenue up past Keefe. Hey, BRI's on the roads. Report accidents, slowdowns, and road conditions to the WTMJ Hall Mazda traffic tip line at 414-238-9329. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The National Weather Service has issued a tornado watch for Walworth, Dodge, Waukesha, Washington, and Jefferson counties until midnight. Tonight, those storms are strong. You need to be weather aware. Some severe. Breezy. The low will be 58 degrees. Tomorrow, partly cloudy and breezy. The high will be 73 degrees. Thursday, mostly sunny. You can see the sun. It'll be warm, a high of 77. Friday, partly cloudy. The high will be 73 at the lake, 78 inland. Saturday, partly cloudy with a chance of showers and storms, a high of 72 degrees.
Time for the Milwaukee Health Briefing. Our friend Dr. John Raymond, the president and CEO of the Medical College of Wisconsin, is with us. Dr. Raymond, good afternoon. Thank you for being here.
Good afternoon, John.
I want to talk about stroke today, also called cerebrovascular accidents. To learn how to identify the early signs of stroke, I want to start with this. The numbers are pretty stunning. Stroke was responsible, according to the CDC in 2021, for 1 in 6 deaths from cardiovascular disease. In Wisconsin, it's a leading cause of death. Why is this significant, and what is a stroke?
Yeah, thank you for the questions, John. First of all, a stroke's a medical emergency that occurs when blood flow to the brain is reduced or blocked. And stroke, as you said, it's the 4th leading cause of death in the United States. And there are 800,000 new strokes reported every year. So that means that every 40 seconds, somebody in the United States is having a stroke. And we usually think about strokes as something that happens to people over the age of 65, but 20% of strokes happen in people between the ages of 25 and 55. So, as you said, recognizing that strokes as soon as possible is critical for achieving good outcomes. So most importantly, the patient needs to know that they're having a stroke so that they can call 911 and get to an emergency room as soon as possible. So there's a mnemonic that the listener should be aware of called B FAST. B is for balance, E is for eye. So if you're having new visual difficulties or trouble with your balance, that might be an early sign of stroke. F means face, A means arms, and S means speech. So if you're having difficulty talking or vocalizing, if you're having asymmetry in your face or numbness or weakness in the arm, T means it's time to call 911. So those are the issues that it's really important for people to recognize and immediately try to get help.
Let's say that a bystander sees what's going on or a loved one, they call 911. What happens next once that patient gets to the hospital?
Okay, so first of all, we have a great emergency management system here. They'll do an in-the-field triage and decide which hospital to send the patient to, because sometimes the closest hospital isn't the most capable one to deal with a stroke. So the emergency department team, once the patient arrives, they spring into action very quickly, and they want to assess whether a stroke is happening or not. So they do a quick physical exam, and then they'll send the patient for imaging studies or special x-rays to try to make sure that they understand what type of stroke is occurring. So there are actually 2 types. First is a hemorrhagic stroke where there's bleeding into the brain, and the second is a blockage or an ischemic stroke where the blood flow to the brain is reduced. And it's important to know which type of stroke you're dealing with because the treatments are very different. The most common form of stroke is a blockage of an artery. And for that, you'll either go in and try to remove the clot or blockage with an endovascular approach or a catheter, or use a clot-busting drug to try to break them up. For a hemorrhagic stroke, there may be the need to have a different type of surgery where they relieve pressure on the brain.
Dr. John Raymond is with us in the studio. All right, Dr. Raymond, I've heard the phrase time is brain when talking about a stroke. What does that mean?
Yeah, what it really means is there was a change in thinking about how to treat strokes about 15 years ago, And that was when we understood that the sooner you could intervene in a stroke, the better the outcomes. So the idea was to treat a stroke like a heart attack. And there were many people that called a stroke a brain attack that required a comprehensive team to be able to intervene immediately. So an emergency room, a nursing staff, the ability to do x-rays, and then do some sort of an intervention, just like a cardiac catheterization. So what it really means is the sooner you get to the emergency room, the better your outcome's going to be.
I can see these are really serious and it has to be dealt with a doctor immediately. So what does the doctor do? What's needed?
Yeah, again, it really depends on the type of stroke. But we can start clot-busting drugs and blood thinners pretty quickly if you determine that there's not already a brain bleed. And then we can call specialists in that can do an intervention where they can put a catheter actually up into the brain where the blockage is, pull a clot out, do an angioplasty, or directly infuse a clot-busting drug to the area where there's a stroke. Or if you have a hemorrhagic stroke, a neurosurgeon can do a burr hole or open up the skull to relieve pressure or clip off a bleeding artery.
What do we know about what causes strokes? Can diet play a role? Can inactivity play a role? Is it strictly genetic?
Well, there may be a genetic predisposition to have weakening of the arteries or an aneurysm, but high blood pressure, cardiovascular disease, atherosclerosis, those are the big risk factors for stroke. So when you think about the risk factors for a heart attack, they're pretty much the same as the risk factors for a stroke.
What is the Comprehensive Stroke Center, and do we have one here?
Yeah, this is really important. There are 4 levels of capability of hospitals to manage strokes, and the highest level is a Comprehensive Stroke Center. So a Comprehensive Stroke Center has that team on call that I mentioned, high capability emergency room, the ability to have rapid imaging, an MRI or a CT scan, and having neurosurgeons and neurologists that can do interventions in a very, very short period of time. And we used to talk about the golden hour. The first hour of a stroke is the most important. But it's actually the first 3 to 6 hours. The sooner you get there, the better. But we can still do high-end interventions in the first 3 to 6 hours. And there aren't that many comprehensive stroke centers in Wisconsin. We have one at Frederick in the Medical College of Wisconsin.
That's good news for us.
So thankful we have you. And
yes.
What's the good news of the week, Doctor?
Yeah, this is going to be a medical good news of the week.
Good.
Okay.
You know, we've talked a lot about GLP-1 agonists, drugs like Ozempic, Mounjaro, and Wegovy on the show before. There's a whole host of recent studies that show that these are really effective drugs, not just for weight loss and managing diabetes, but for sustained weight loss. We now know that you can have weight loss for up to 4 years after starting these drugs. We also know that the risk of heart attacks can be reduced by these drugs, even if you don't lose weight. And then finally, it's possible to treat heart failure with these drugs, reduce the need for having diuretics, and improve outcomes in heart failure. So it really looks like in the short term, the FDA is going to approve these drugs for a much broader range of health conditions.
Indeed, that is good news. Dr. John Raymond is the president and CEO of the Medical College of Wisconsin, an important topic today. Thank you so much, Dr. Raymond.
Thanks, John and Julia.
Logan Hansen is at the Milwaukee Business Journal.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Milwaukee Tool parent company Tektronic Industries Co. Limited named Steve Richmond CEO. Richmond joins Tektronic after 17 years with the Brookfield-based Milwaukee Tool. Goodland Extracts is releasing a THC-infused gin. The gin will release with statewide distribution beginning June 28th under the brand Flipside Cannabis Spirit. Goodland Extracts is working with Badger Liquor to distribute the product. The Trade Hotel Workers Union files 3 allegations of unfair labor practices against parent company NCG Hospitality. NCG Hospitality disputes the allegations, saying it, quote, firmly believes in upholding employee rights, end quote. I'm Logan Hansen with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
Business headlines sponsored by the Pfister Hotel. Make your reservations today. Visit thepfisterhotel.com.
Milwaukee's finest hotel, the Pfister Hotel, is continuing with renovations to enhance its already stellar reputation. Phase 2 of the renovations is in progress to transform the hotel's historic rooms, with many new rooms available now for reservations. Phase 3 will focus on the hotel's public spaces, set to be completed this summer. The renovations will blend exceptional comfort with cutting-edge technology, reinforcing the hotel's approachable sophistication. The Pfister is ready to welcome you for your next visit. Start planning your stay today at thepfisterhotel.com.
Come visit, learn, and discover at the recently opened Food and Farm Exploration Center near Stevens Point in Plover, Wisconsin. The 50,000 square foot Science and Technology Center is a place to take the entire family. Experience over 60 interactive exhibits, a children's play area, demonstration farm fields, and home to the world's largest potato masher. The Food and Farm Exploration Center is a place for connecting with food and those who grow it. Just a short drive from Milwaukee. Plan your visit today at explorefoodandfarm.org.
The Fox and Hounds Supper Club is the most unique, beautiful, and affordable dining destination in the area and winners of the Top Choice Award for fine dining, most romantic restaurant, and best Sunday brunch. WTMJ's John Mercure here. I love this place. I'm actually trying to get into the Fox and Hounds probably either tomorrow or the next night. We will be there. And you, like us, only pay for every other dinner. When you buy one dinner, your second is free 7 nights a week. Steak, seafood, pasta, big fresh salad, even the steak and lobster is buy one, get one free. Anything on the menu, your second dinner is free. That includes the prime rib tomorrow and on Saturdays. Desserts are also buy one, get one free. That chocolate peanut butter pie, fantastic. Relax with a hand-muddled old-fashioned. They've got 20 bourbons to choose from, 100 wines, 8 elegant dining rooms. It's the Fox and Hounds in the Kettle Moraine Forest, beautiful setting. So celebrate a birthday, anniversary, or a quiet dinner. Your second dinner is always free. Just off Highway 167, 2 miles east of the famous Holy Hill Shrine. Beautiful drive, great restaurant. Reserve at foxandhoundsrestaurant.com for your free dinner tonight.
Memorial Day honors the incredible sacrifices made by our brave Americans who served in the United States military. At Tabak Law, we honor these sacrifices year-round by ensuring veterans receive all of the benefits they are entitled to from the Department of Veterans Affairs. I'm attorney Jim Brzezinski at Tabak Law. If you were denied or feel that your disability claim has been incorrectly evaluated by the VA, let's discuss how Tabak Law can help you get the benefits you deserve. At Tabak Law, we fight for those who fought for us. Visit tabakattorneys.com.
$1, just $1 over cost, and you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, just $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. Our only requirements is we put them on for you. Available at all 5 Griffin stores. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
And a high fly ball left center field. This ball is going to be back there and gone!
The Brewers show Miami what real baseball looks like. Our Brewers Marlins coverage starts tonight at 5:05. This series is sponsored by Steinhaffel's Memorial Day Sale on your home of the Milwaukee Brewers. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 5 o'clock. I'm John Mercure. This is Wisconsin's Afternoon News. Your top story, a police chase and arrest in downtown Milwaukee.
I'm Julia Fellow. Get ready for the wind as a storm is brewed tonight.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, eastbound on 94, coming in from 84th Street. It's going to be slow all the way through the Stadium interchange. The westbound side slow out of the Marquette, all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Got a heavy ride along the bypass, heading southbound from Greenfield Avenue all the way down and around the Hale interchange to about 84th Street. We've also got on southbound 4394 backing up from the Marquette all the way down past the KK River. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The National Weather Service has issued a tornado watch for Walworth, Dodge, Waukesha, Washington, and Jefferson counties until midnight. Storms will begin about 7 or 8 o'clock. Some severe wind, lots of wind, maybe some hail. And tomorrow, partly cloudy, breezy, a high of 72 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, an update on breaking news this afternoon. A number of Milwaukee police remain on scene downtown after a car chase led them to a parking garage near Mason Street and Broadway. Officers had Mason Street blocked off for about a half an hour this afternoon with their search centered around that garage. WTMJ's Adam Roberts is on scene and confirms that officers did place a suspect under arrest. Most of the police tape is down, but if your drive home typically takes you in that direction, you may want to consider an alternate route.
Waiting for the rain, a large line of potentially severe thunderstorms moving its way across the state of Wisconsin and could arrive in southeast Wisconsin within the next couple of hours. Meteorologist Craig Coplain.
But I think as they start to move across Wisconsin in our direction, all of those individualized thunderstorm cells will start to congeal into a line, and that'll bring the probability of tornadoes down at least a little as the storms approach southeast Wisconsin.
The threat window will run from about 8 p.m. until roughly 11 p.m. tonight.
China has banned former Congressman Mike Gallagher from entering the country. It's part of a series of sanctions against the Green Bay Republican. China could seize any assets Gallagher might have in the country and prohibit organizations in China from interacting with him. Gallagher left Congress last month before the end of his term. He led the House Select Committee probing how the U.S. can best counter the Chinese Communist Party's growing global influence.
New nonstop options to the Caribbean coming to Milwaukee's Mitchell International Airport. Sun Country Airlines will add new nonstop flights to the Dominican Republic starting in December and Montego Bay, Jamaica starting January 25th. Those new flights give travelers more options, especially during peak winter and spring break travel periods.
Home prices in Fond du Lac are rising faster than any other market in the country. According to the National Association of Realtors, Racine was also in the top 10, placing sixth at a 19% increase.
And the cicadas have emerged. The Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources confirmed the emergence of cicadas in Wisconsin, specifically Lake Geneva. The DNR confirmed that these insects are Brood 13 cicadas. The insects will keep emerging into June, but won't appear again in Wisconsin until 2041.
Quick programming note, Eric Hovde, running for the U.S. Senate, joins us live in the studio tomorrow at 3:45. Hovde here, 3:45 tomorrow. It's Brewers Baseball up next on WTMJ.
As you're cheering on your favorite team, leave your home comfort to Carrier. Whether it's keeping your current heating and cooling system running smoothly or upgrading to a new one, your local Carrier dealer has got you covered. Plus, now is the perfect time to step up your comfort game with a Carrier home comfort system. Receive tax credits of up to $2,600 when you choose a qualifying Carrier